Very warm welcome to all of you. I'm Dr. Ganesh Karvari. Today, going to deliver this session on the modeling the pandemic in data science. Okay, so this is a part second of the particular session that is modeling the pandemic in data science. So, in the last session, we have gone through the some of the fundamental things like the data science process as well as the machine learning algorithms and some of the processes that we have studied in the last session. So in this today's session, we are going to have the practical approach, hands-on approach on how to create a model for the pandemic in data science. Okay, so it's all about the how to create the model, and we are going to test these models in the today's sessions also. Okay. So this session will be divided into 3 to 4 parts. First of all, we are going to see how to import the libraries. Then we are going to study how to read the data sets from the different URLs or different local disks, or how to upload that on the cloud also. Also, we are going to have the visualization of the COVID related data in this session. Then we are going to have the modeling of the data sets available for the COVID-19. Then the different epidemic models like pandemic models we are having in the statistics like SIR, SIER, as well as the machine learning based prediction model that we are going to have in the today's session. Okay. So in the last session, we are gone through the various fundamental things. At the starting, I just introduced who we are. Unikaksha. Okay. So in the Unikaksha, at the Unikaksha platform, you are getting the various advantages, and the Unikaksha is having more features. Okay. So it is a unified digital educational provider for the certifications as well as skill enhancement. We are a unique team of the academicians as well as the industry experts. We are having the very unique curriculum, that is the universal curriculum we are having to train the students on the in-demand courses. We are having the uniformity, intensive and immersive programs for the upskilling for the students. Then the unison code along the sessions. We have unique bite-sized sessions. So the different kind of the sessions, different kind of the courses you are getting this platform. So we are conducting the different courses on the foundation programs, associate programs, certification programs we have. We also have the professional certification programs and the job ready programs for the students. In the various domains like machine learning and data science in a Python programming, we are also having a domain of Java programming. We are also having the courses in the full stack development in the various substreams like a mean, Java, Python. We are also having the courses in the AWS, Azure, and testing. So this is about Unikaksha, and this is a code for day as we are looking forward for the things in the data science. So data science, my theme is of today's session is to create some simple things. Okay, so real creativity, it won't make things more complex. We are going to make the things very simple. Okay, that is the theme of the day. So first of all, I will introduce myself. I'm Dr. Ganesh Karvari. I'm a data scientist by profession. I have a huge experience in the teaching as well as research. Okay, so I have completed my PhD in the IoT and machine learning. I have completed the master's degree in the signal processing. I have completed my bachelor's degree in electronics and telecommunication engineering with the university rank. I have published the many books on the machine learning, Internet of Things, embedded systems. Okay, I have completed many certifications like Google Cloud Machine Learning Engineer, Data Scientist, AWS. I have published 2 patents in the machine learning domain. I also working on some of the research project at the national level in the machine learning domain. I have published many research papers in the data science and machine learning area. So I have contributed for the employability enhancement also with the various data science industries as well as the machine learning industries. I have collaborated. Okay, so this is my short introduction to all of you. In the last session, we have discussed about the introduction to the COVID-19 pandemic. We have discussed on the role of data science in the pandemic situations. We have also discussed on the data pre-processing things, how to visualize the data. We have discussed very briefly on the machine learning algorithms. It may be supervised, unsupervised, or reinforcement learning. We have discussed in the last session. Also, we are going to have the analysis of the COVID-19 data, modeling of the pandemic, and prediction models in this session. I just summarize the content of the last session, and we'll move forward for the live environment of the Jupyter Notebook to have the coding for the modeling of the pandemic in data science. Okay, so basically in the today's session, we are going to model the things which are happening nowadays in our world. Okay, so the COVID-19 impacted our total world. Okay, everyone is suffering from this COVID-19 pandemic. Okay, so we are going to create the model for these particular things to predict the future. Okay, what kind of the situation will be in the next couple of years, that we are going to predict also with the help of the data science. Okay, so we are starting this session with the reading the data sets. We are going to have the data processing, and finally we are going to build the models. Okay, so as we know, the coronavirus disease, it is an infectious disease caused by the severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus. Okay, so you know all these things. I'm not going to go into the very deeper for this particular things. Okay, so this is just introduction regarding the COVID-19. I'm very much focused in the today's session for the practical approach on the modeling of this thing. Okay, so in this session, you are going to analyze the things like what is the current COVID-19 situation in India. We are going to have the comparison of the different state counts. We are going to have the conclude what are the reasons behind the different number of the clusters found in the India. Okay, we are going to also analyze whether the lockdown in India is successful or not in the today's session. We are going to build the prediction model also using the machine learning algorithms. Okay, so the data sources are important, as well as the data pre-processing things we have seen in the last session. Okay, the data pre-processing kind of steps, different formulas we need to create, just like the example, death rate is calculated by the formula, number of deaths per total confirmed cases into 100. It will give us the total death rate, as well as the recovery rate that can be calculated by this formula, number of recoveries per total confirmed cases into 100. Then we are going to split the data according to the lockdown period also. Okay, so whenever the data, as we know, the data is raw data and it is always not in the proper format. So some of the null values are there. So in the place of null values, we are going to fill some average values. Okay, that is the data pre-processing. Data visualization, we are going to visualize all COVID related data with the help of the different charts, different graphs we are going to have for this. So pie chart can be used, bar plots, line plots, or the 3D plot that we are using for the particular thing. Okay, now let's come to the point, that is reading the database from the different kind of the sources. Okay, it may be a local disk or URL, or whether we upload on the Jupyter Notebook also. So now let me take you to my Jupyter Notebook and show you how we are scraping the real-time COVID data, and how we are importing the database in the Jupyter Notebook. Okay, so let me share my Jupyter Notebook to all of you. Okay, I hope the screen is visible to all of you. This is my Jupyter Notebook. Dhruv sir, screen is visible? My screen is visible to you?
Yes, sir, we can see.
Okay, thank you very much. So this is the homepage of the Jupyter Notebook. Now there might be question in your mind, what is this Jupyter Notebook and what are the different things associated with the Jupyter Notebook? See, Jupyter Notebook, this is my code editor where I'm going to do the coding, Python programming for this particular COVID-19 analysis or modeling the prediction models. So Jupyter Notebook is the open source software. It is an open source platform. It can be provided by the Anaconda Navigator or Anaconda package. Okay, so what the Anaconda is the distribution package, okay, where we are getting the different kind of platforms like Jupyter, as well as we are getting the R programming, where we are also going to have the the Spider also. Okay, so different options are available there. Just I will show that also. Okay, how the Anaconda look like. I will show you how the Anaconda looks like and what the Anaconda is. These are the all things which we have already discussed in the last session. Okay. So this is a Bayes variance trade-off. This is the effect of training size that we have discussed in the last session. Okay, see, we are using the Python programming for the today's session for the modeling the pandemic in the data science. Why we are using this Python? Because Python supports various libraries. Libraries is what? Library is the collection of different functions. We can directly import them and we can use the different coding syntaxes in that particular library. Python provides a library like NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, SciPy, Scikit-learn, Seaborn. What are these? Okay. So what is NumPy? NumPy is the numerical Python. Whatever the mathematical operations, arithmetical operations we need to perform, that all can be imported. These function, mathematical functions can be imported from the NumPy library. What is Pandas? Pandas that associated with the data frames. Okay, we can read the different data sets using this Pandas library. What is Matplotlib? Matplotlib can be used for the data visualization, as well as the Seaborn library that also can be useful for the data visualization to plot some graphs as well as some charts. Okay, SciPy and Scikit-learn, these are the libraries which are containing the machine learning, algorithms or the machine learning classes are there, like linear regression, different KNN algorithm. Okay, so different kind of the machine learning classes are available in the Scikit-learn and SciPy library. Okay, so this is regarding the Python, why we are using Python. Now the Anaconda distribution. What is the Anaconda distribution? You just go to the anaconda.com. Okay, you can find the individual edition of the Anaconda distribution where you can download this Anaconda distribution. And once you download the Anaconda distribution, what the benefits are you are getting? This is an open source Python distribution. You will get the 400 plus popular Python packages in the single Anaconda distribution. You can get a modern data science analytics architecture in the Anaconda distribution. You are also going to get the interactive visualization and the security with this Anaconda distribution packages. This is also available in the enterprise, okay, ready data analytics platform. We are using the individual edition, free edition we can use. Okay, so it also supports the big data environment. Okay, so there are the different features of this Anaconda distribution. And once you install this Anaconda, this is available in the different formats. Like currently the Python version, latest version is 3.7. So you need not to download Python also. Once you install the Anaconda, you need not to download the Jupyter Notebook. You need not to download the Python. Directly from the Python directly from the Anaconda package, you can get all these things. You can get a Jupyter notebook, you can get R programming, you can get a Spider, you can get a Python. All things you can get from the Anaconda package, what you installed in your PC. Okay, so there are the different versions as per the operating systems, like Windows. You can have the MacBook. Okay, then for that particular or the Linux. Okay, for these things you can choose your operating system, and you can download your Anaconda package for your PC. Okay, so this is regarding the installation of Anaconda Python distribution. This is URL. You can note down this one. This is the anaconda.com/downloads. From this, you can get the file, downloaded file. Okay, so and then you are going to click on the install button and just installing the Anaconda. You will get all instructions. Just go ahead and just click on the OK. You will get your file installed. Okay, so how the Anaconda looks like? Once you install the Anaconda and once you open your Anaconda, this is the Anaconda Navigator. Okay, so you are going to open the Anaconda Navigator. It looks like this window will be open, and this is the home window for the Anaconda Navigator. You can see the several options at the left side: home, environments, learning, community. Okay, in the home window, you will get the different options, different platforms for the Anaconda Navigator. You can see the Jupyter Lab, you can see Jupyter Notebook, you can see Qt console for the IPython, you can see the RStudio, Spider is also available there, VS Code is available there. So the number of options, 400 plus packages of the Python are available with the Anaconda distribution. So that's why we are preferring the Anaconda for the Python programming as well as the data science. Okay, so once you install the Anaconda, you need to click on the launch button where the Jupyter Notebook option is available. And now, what is the Jupyter Notebook? See why the name is given as notebook. Okay, see, first of all, I will tell you the history about this Jupyter name. This JU means Julia. It stands for the Julia language. Py for Python. Okay, and this R for this R for R language. So it's a combination of these three languages, Julia as well as Python as well as R programming. So in the Jupyter Notebook, you can have the coding for the Julia as well as Python programming as well as R programming. And why it is called as notebook? You can have two types of cells, like a code cell plus text cell. Okay, in the code cell, you can write your code, your syntax. In the text cell, you can write your different commands. Whatever the theory notes as well as some commands you have to write, you can write down in the text cells. And in the code cells, you can have your code or syntax. Okay, so you need to click on the launch button. Okay, and once you click on the launch button, your Jupyter Notebook will be opened in the browser. Okay, as you are using your different applications, web applications. So similarly, this Jupyter Notebook is a web-based application. It is open in the browser. It is an interactive computing notebook environment in which you can edit and run the human readable documents, okay, which describe the data analysis. So that's why we are using this Jupyter Notebook version 5.7.4. Okay, so this Jupyter is an open source and interactive web-based Python interface for the data science and scientific computing. Some of the advantage of this the Jupyter Notebook are given below. These are the Python language support. It has big data platform integration with it is available, and the content sharing and the contribution is also there. You can share your content, you can have the different contributions, you can write your code and upload there. Built-in interactive widgets are there available. So this is a very user-friendly, you can say this is the interface, or this is a web-based application for the Python code editor. Okay, so this is your Jupyter Notebook. And this Python, with a Python, you can do the various processes. You can acquire the data. You can wrangle the data. Wrangle means you can clean different kind of the unwanted things from the data. You can explore the data. You can visualize it with the help of the different libraries like Matplotlib. You can create the models. You can build the models using a scikit-learn and the NumPy. You can visualize the data. You can create the reports using SciPy and the different machine learning Python libraries. Okay, so this is regarding the Python for data science and how to install. So this is the total hierarchy you have to follow. So first of all, you need to install the Anaconda. Just you need to open your Anaconda navigator. Here you will get the option of the Jupyter Notebook. No need to install Python, no need to install the Jupyter Notebook. All things are available in the single Anaconda distribution. Okay, so single Anaconda distribution, you need to go to the Anaconda navigator, then you will click on the Jupyter Notebook. You will get the platform for the Python coding. Okay, now I take you to the Jupyter Notebook and we'll start coding our COVID related analysis. Okay. So just a moment, I share my Jupyter Notebook to you. Okay, so this is the Jupyter Notebook, what I talk now. Okay, so this is your Jupyter Notebook. Once you click on the Jupyter Notebook, launch on the Jupyter Notebook button, this Jupyter Notebook is opened in the browser. Okay, now this Jupyter Notebook homepage is there. Okay, you can see first of all some of the options like your files, the different files, Python notebook files will be stored here. Okay, data sets with the CSV file format as well as the Excel file format you can see here. Okay, your Python files, Python notebook files, various data sets you can store here in this different files. Now what this running means? Running means what kind of the different terminals are running over there, that will be shown over here. Next is the clusters. That cluster lab is with the IPython parallel. This is not for our use. Okay, so in the files you can see the different options. Upload here. Okay, upload. With the upload button you can upload the different files or the database which are required. With the new button you can create a new Python file. So you can see this. I'm going to click on the new button and there is option Python 3. Just click on the Python 3. So once you click on the Python 3, you will get the new file opened in the browser. Okay, I hope new file page is visible to you with the name untitled. Is this visible to all of you? Is the new file is visible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what we are doing in the today's session, that we are going to have the session on the modeling the pandemic. Yes. So I can change the name of the notebook. So this is my new Python file in the Jupyter Notebook. Okay. So here, first of all, I'm going to show you how to read the data sets, how we are going to get the different COVID related data sets. You can get this COVID related data from the different sites. Now these are available. So there is a Worldometer from the different GitHub sites. You can get the different COVID related data, also from some of the government sites. Okay, but you need to check the privacy issue before downloading the data, whether the data is freely available or not, it is having some privacy issue or not. Okay, so that things you have to check. Okay, so we are going to read the data set which is on the COVID analysis. Okay, so I will show that. Okay, the first thing is a data collection, which I talk now. You can collect the data. Okay, now the first thing is reading the data set. Okay, I'm going to show you the same thing. The step by step we are going. Okay, first we are going to read the data sets. Okay, now you can see this file. Read the database from the local disk, or you can upload in the your Jupyter Notebook files also. So you can see here, this is the import pandas as PD. Okay, what this import pandas as PD means? Pandas, already talked with you that Panda is the library for the Python, and this PD is the object for that Python. We are importing this library. Okay, so this is the pandas which can useful for reading the different data sets. And this is the second library that we are importing, that is the NumPy. NumPy is a numerical Python. So I just click on the run button. We are importing the pandas library. Okay, you can see the star button. It's executing this code cell. Okay, now I'm going to import the NumPy library also. Now you can see here this one. Okay, so see this. This is the syntax. Data is equal to pd dot read underscore CSV. Okay, so data, that is the name which we are giving for this particular database that we are going to import, that we are going to read. Okay, and PD is the object for the pandas data frame. Okay, pandas library that is for the PD dot read underscore CSV. If we have the Excel file format, we can use that here, read underscore XLS. Okay, so but we are going to import the CSV file format. That's why we are using the read underscore CSV. Now I'm going to get some files. Just I'm going to show the files to you. Whatever the files are uploaded here, you can get these files. So some of the files I have uploaded in the Jupyter Notebook. Yes, this is the Indian COVID underscore 19 underscore India. This CSV file I'm going to import. Okay, so I have to write down this COVID underscore 19 underscore India dot CSV. Yes, I try to read this CSV file. Just we'll check. Yes. Okay. So this file is that file we have imported. Now we'll check whether this file is uploaded or not. We'll check the head of this data set by using the data.head function. What this data.head function will do, it will show us the different first n number of the columns. Okay, suppose we want to get the first 5 columns, first 10 columns, first 10 rows, then it will show the first rows and columns. Okay, so just I will execute this and we'll see. Yes, our data is successfully uploaded. Okay, and you can see the first 5 rows. Okay, in the database we are having the serial number, date, time, the state, confirm cases, confirm foreign national cases, cured, deaths, and confirm cases. Okay, so this data.head function will show us the n number of the rows. As I'm talking about the n number, it can show the many n can be changed by the different numbers. Okay, so I'm putting the 20, so it will show first 20 rows. You can see it will show from the index 0 to 19, means 1 to 20 serial number. These different rows it can show. So this is the data.head function. Using this, you can show the first n number of rows. Similarly, we can also check the last rows from the database by the data.tell function. Okay, so we'll check it. Okay, so how many number of rows are there? You can check 2449. Okay, so 2450. This is the last serial number. Last 5 rows you can check over there. So, okay, so I want to check the last 20 rows. Yes, 2431 to 2450. So these things you can check from the data.tail function. Now similarly, I can check the shape of this one, data.shape. Yes, its shape is 2450, 9. What this 2540 and 9 indicates? 2450 means the number of rows. 2450, this is the row numbers, and the 9 indicates the number of columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So shape, data.shape will give us the number of rows and number of columns. Number of rows are 2450, number of columns are 9. Now we can also get the information about the data type. Okay, so data.info function will give us the information regarding this data set. Yes, this one, this is the column, list of columns. The number of rows, how many are there? Null content, no null content is there, and this last information about the data type, integer, object, integer. Okay, so memory uses also can be shown over here. So this is how to read the database from the local disk is about. Okay, so as well as we have the another function, data dot describe. Yes, this data dot describe. Is the screen is visible to all of you? Whatever I'm going to show you. Yes, anybody please respond. The screen is visible to all of you. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. So this is the data describe function in which you can get the different statistical parameters. In the last session, we have seen that the statistical parameters are very important. They count number of the rows and columns. It will be given by this count. Mean can be calculated directly from this data.describe function. You can see. Then the standard deviation, mean, then the 25% of the data, 50% of the data, 75% of the data, and the maximum. So in this way, from the data.describe function, you can get this the things like statistical parameters. So this is the way you can read the different data sets. I'm showing the another option. So okay, so see this. Suppose I'm going to import the another data set, that data frame is equal to, the syntax is pd dot read, okay, underscore csv, and then we are going to have the file name. Okay, so we worked on this file COVID-19 India. I'm going to import the another file, so that may be Indian coordinates. Okay. Yes, I'm going to have the another file, Indian. That is in the Excel file format. As this is a case sensitive, you need to put all things very correctly. I will check now. Is what the error is there. Read underscore Excel X pandas at no attribute. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to read another file. Another file I have just to show you the example how to read it. Okay, there is no such file. Just I want to search it. Okay, the another file I will import with another disease. Suppose we are going to import this one, Indian liver patients file. So what the error we are getting? Indian liver patient is not available. Okay. We need to upload that in our home page. Then and then you can get this.
So .csv you have not uploaded.
Just a minute. Yes, we not put that, right? Correct. .csv is important. I forgot to type there. Yes. So we have imported this Indian liver patient, as well as we can also import the other files also. Yes. So we can see whether this is uploaded or not. Data dot head function. Yes, this one. Yes, we have successfully read this data. Okay, so this is just to show you how to read the databases. Okay, now this is the primary thing you need to know about. This is to read the data set. Now I move forward for the modeling of the data sets. Okay, so how to create the pandemic model, that is the main focus of the today's agenda, modeling the pandemic in data science, how we can model the different prediction models. Now, after the study of the reading the data set, you can also visualize the data. I will show how to visualize the data in the next couple of the minutes. Okay, so that data visualization is also important there. Yes, so I create, first of all, see, for the modeling the pandemic data science, we need to have some libraries. We need to import some libraries. Like for reading the data set, we have used the pandas library. For the numerical operations, we have used the numerical Python, that is NumPy. For the visualization, we can use the matplotlib. For the machine learning algorithm, we can use a scikit-learn. Similarly, for the modeling the pandemic in data science, some visualization kind of the advanced kind of libraries, these are important. So the first thing I'm going to have that is to import some of the libraries, okay, which are basic as well as the advanced kind of the libraries. See this one. So what are the different libraries that we need to import? Importing the pandas library, we are going to import the NumPy library. We are going to import the matplotlib. We are going to import the cbun. Cbun is for data visualization. Also the plotly, import plotly. This is we are going to import. Plotly is for the graphical analysis. Okay. Then next is the Folium. This is one of the advanced kind of the library that we are using for the showing the graphs, as well as different kind of the mapping, map kind of things. Your Google Maps or different types of maps can be imported from this Folium library. We are going to show the different confirmed cases. We are going to show the different death cases, the COVID cases. Okay, red zone. Suppose we want to show the red zone in the different cities. So that can be done with the help of the Folium library. So it will import the Google map. Okay. So next is the import the warnings, and we are going to have some measures for the scikit-learn. We are going to find out the mean square error. Okay, so this is the list of the libraries. I'm going to import this one. Okay, so this will take time because we are installing the Folium also. We have not installed the Folium. Now in this particular live session, we are going to install the Folium. Pandas is installed, NumPy is installed, Matplotlib is also installed, and other Plotly, these things are also installed. But the Folium, that is the advanced kind of thing that we are going to install in this live environment. It will take some time. You can see here the Folium is, its requirement is satisfied. Yes, now our libraries, all libraries are installed. So this is the first thing where we have installed the libraries. Now the next thing is to read the data sets. Okay, so what the different data sets we are reading, we can see, check there. Two different data sets we have available with us from the March 2020 to May 2020. Two different data sets we have available with us. We are going to read the two data sets. Yes. So these are the two data sets, COVID-19 India.csv file format, and second, Indian coordinates. These two files we are going to import. Okay. So we have imported these two files. Then we can check the different parameters with these two files. Okay. So what is the file name? df_India. So df_India dot head function. Okay, we'll check this file. Yes, it will show what the data is available there. Same data of the COVID-19. This date is given there. The state is given there. Confirmed Indian national cases, confirmed foreign national cases, the number of cured cases, death cases, and confirmed cases. So this is the data. Okay, now we'll check the another file, that is the Indian coordinates. So this is India underscore coordinates. It's the name of this file. Dot head function. We are checking what are the different rows available there. Yes, you can see it shows the latitude and longitude about the states. Okay, so this is used for the mapping of the different cases or to show the different red zone areas on the map. Okay, so this is the data, as well as you can show the different things with this database, India underscore coordinate dot describe. It will show all the statistical parameters with this database. Yes, the count can be shown, mean, standard deviation, different another statistical parameter can be shown over here. And the another function we have, that is India, that is the info function, can be used with this India underscore coordinate dot info functions. Yes, it will show the information about this database. So these are the two databases we are using for this model of the pandemic. Okay, so after this one, we are going to show the data types with the first file. What are the different data types are available there? With this syntax df underscore India dot d types, it will show the different columns and their data types, integer, object, integer. It is shown over here. So this is the way. Now I'm going to show the this is all about what you have seen now. This is all about to read the databases, COVID databases. We have first of all imported the libraries which are required: Pandas, NumPy, Matplotlib, Seaborn, Plotly, Folium. These libraries we have imported. After importing the libraries, we have imported the two data sets, and we have checked these two data sets. That is df underscore India, this data frame. Second data frame is India underscore coordinate. That data frame also we have checked. We have the different options like data tel function also we can check. df underscore India dot tel function. So you can check the last rows of this one. Okay. So this is regarding the information or the description about the data. Okay, so after reading the data, after first of all importing the different libraries, after reading the data, after understanding the data, understanding the data is also an important thing. Okay, because if you don't know about what the database, what are the different rows and column in the database, then you cannot check there the different. You cannot proceed for the data analysis. Okay, and the data modeling also. So here you can see in this this data frame underscore India, there are some values with the dash. There are some rows with the dash. Okay, so we need to change this. Okay, we need to replace this by 0 because we can get some errors while it is not replaced by the 0. That's why we have to replace this dash symbol with the 0. So this is called as the pre-processing. Okay, so now we are going to have the data pre-processing step. Okay, so we are going to have the data pre-processing. So this is the syntax: df replace dash with zeros input. So return input inp dot replace dash with 0. You can see the syntax. We are going to replace the dash with 0. Okay, in both the files, I'm going to have going to replace the dash in both the files by 0. Yes, you can now check this one. All
So
the.
can you just show the syntax again?
Pardon, please.
So how to type this syntax? Can you just show that? For data application.
I'm sorry, I'm not getting your question. Your voice is breaking. Hello?
Hello, am I audible, sir?
Yes, yes. Now you are audible.
Sir, I just said, can you just show?
You can type your question in chat box.
The syntax again, how to type that?
You can type your question in the chat box. Hello? I'm not getting your question. Your voice is breaking. Please type in the chat box. I tried to answer your question. Okay, can you just type and show the syntax again? Yes, I can type. See this one. This is the predefined class is available there. Okay, so this is the def replace underscore dash with zeros inp. As the code is very big code we are going to have. Okay, so if I'm going to type all the things once again, so it will take too much time. Okay, so what I'm trying to see this one: df replace underscore dash with zeros inp. It will return int inp dot replace dash comma 0. What the function, what the importance of this is, we are going to replace the dash with zeros. This is the importance of this one. Okay, so this is a predefined function which is available in the library. Okay, so we need to just import, we need to use this. Okay, next thing is this is regarding the graph. Okay, df underscore India dot drop. what we are dropping? We are dropping the yes serial number column. We are dropping the serial number column for the data set. You can check this one. We have dropped the serial number column. Okay, dot drop function will drop the particular column for the data sets. Okay, and here the date we are using. So this is the syntax for date. df underscore India date is equal to pd dot to date time df underscore India date format is equal to %d, %m, %y for the date, month, and year. Okay, so this is for your use. What we are doing, we are replacing the dash with zeros, and we are dropping one column, that is serial number. So after doing this pre-processing thing, you will get this one. All the dash in the different rows are replaced by 0, as well as the serial number column is removed from this data set. Okay, so this is the data pre-processing thing which we need to do. Next thing, now we'll check the different location with the help of the iloc function. Iloc is the index location function. So using the index location function, I'm going to show you the confirmed cases for the foreign nationals in the dash. So we are going to check. Yes, there is no any column with the dash. You can check. In this data frame underscore India, there is no any column with dash. That's why only the parameters are shown over here. Okay, so this is the syntax to check the whether there is any value, any entity is with the dash or not. That can be checked over here. Okay, so this is regarding this. Now I'm going to show you the list of the different kind of the parameters which are available there in the different we are going to show the different columns in this data set. Yes, this is the syntax for that. List underscore zip df underscore India dot columns df underscore India dot data types. We are going to show the columns as well as data types, as well as is there any null values. Okay, so this can be operated separately, but we can have the list of all. We can operate these functions separately. We can see the column separately, we can see the data types separately, we can check the null values separately, but here we are going to get the list in a single way. Okay, so you can check here, no any okay, no any null values are there. So data type is also shown here. The data type for the state is shown here. Data type for the confirm Indian national, that is an integer. Confirm foreign national, that is integer. For keyword, it is integer, and this 0 indicates the null values. Okay, or the any dash values are there, that can be checked here. Okay, so this is regarding this is what the steps we are following. This is the called as data pre-processing. Okay, now I'm going to have going to check the data set is available from which dates, because we have dates available there in our data set. So printf, we have data available from data frame underscore India dot date dot mean. Okay, so this is the syntax from this date to this date, or for what dates the data set is available. We can use this modeling for the different kind of the data sets also. So you can run that. So you see we have data available from that 30th January 2020 to 29th May 2020. So that can be shown here. Okay, so you can check the dates for this data set also. Then the next function is to get the cases from the different states. We have to check. Okay, those state-wise analysis we have to do. For that, the next step is the state-wise analysis we are starting. So for that, we have a function that is a group by function, df underscore India dot group by. As we have used the head function, tail function, then we have used the describe function. Similarly, we can use the group by function to get the group of different kind of the parameters. Like we are having the different states available there, different dates are available there. and we are going to have the sum of all these things. Okay, you can see I just executed this, and we can check the different parameters for the different states. This is for the Andaman Nicobar from the date 26 March 2020. How many confirmed Indian national cases are there? How many confirmed foreign national cases are there? How many the cured cases, death cases, and confirmed cases? Same for different states. We can check this one. Okay, so we have summed these data from the Andaman Nicobar to West Bengal. All state data we can check over there. So this is the group by function where we can group by the different columns. So that date column and another state column, these different columns we have grouped in the single one. Okay. Now, next thing, what are the different states are there? We want the list of this. Okay. So for this particular state data analysis, this is the list of states. How we can show that? Okay. By using this data frame states is equal to data frame underscore India, state underscore or union territory. This is the name which is given in the database. Okay. This is one column which we are having dot unique to list. Okay, so unique states we are getting. Why we are using unique? To avoid the repeated states. And dot to list, it will create the list of the different states in this column of state and union territory. So we will get the different states, list of different states. You can see Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Delhi, Gujarat, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh. Okay. So these are the different states which are available here. So we got the list from this syntax. That is the unique dot to list using our. Okay. Now we can also remove the different states from the. If you check this particular thing, see this one list of the states. This thing is not necessary here. Cases being reassigned to state. Okay, so this is added to the list of the state, but this is not relevant. Okay, this is not the name of state. So we are going to remove this line from the states. For that, I use this dot remove function, states dot remove function. What we are removing? This name, this string. Cases being reassigned to state, that we are removing. Also, one more thing, that is unassigned. It can also be removed. Okay, states dot remove unassigned. Okay, so we are going to remove the two names from this list of the stats. Yes, stat. Just a minute. Okay, so what is the error there? Can anyone tell me what is the error? We have used the class as states and we have written their state. It should be states. Okay, so this is list dot remove X not in list. We'll check once again.
Sir, once you removed and you run twice, so it is showing like that.
Yes,
so
yes,
you should
yes.
Rerun from full.
Correct. We have removed. That's why it is not show. It is showing that it is not in list. Okay, so we have removed that, and it is this thing is performed. So once again, what we'll do? We'll check the list. Once again, we'll check the list whether this is removed or not. This one. This is not removed. Just a second. Now we'll check the length of the states, how much it is giving. So this is the length function. 37, but it should be 35. We need to remove the 2 states from this. It should show the 35. Let's check once again. The unassigned, okay. One more is cases being reassigned to assigned to states. States dot remove. Let's check it. Yes, now it's done. We have removed the 2 names from the list. Cases being reassigned assigned to states as well as unassigned. Okay. Now we'll check the length of the particular thing. States length. Yes, it should be 35. It is case sensitive. We should write the yes in the upper order. Yes, it's 35 now. So the total list of the states we got. Okay. Now the next thing is merging the data frames. We got the 2 data sets. One is the for the Indian COVID-19 data, as well as second is the Indian coordinates. So we can merge the data set. So both the things we can merge both the data sets now. I'm going to merge both. Yes, DF underscore final underscore India. This data frame I'm using pd.data frame function. For this, I'm using the both the data sets. I'm going to merge both the data sets. Finally, we have the data of size 4235, 9 columns are there, and the 4235 number of rows are there. Okay, so we have merged the data. Next thing, after merging the data, we are going to finalize or to find some of the null values. We are going to drop the null values in this data. Okay, so df underscore final underscore India drop NA will drop the null values from the data, and it will show the final shape of this final India data. This 4200, previously it was 4235. So 4200 and 4235, so difference is of 35. 35 null values were there. So these null values are removed from the dropped from the final India data. Okay, so this is regarding the final India data. Now from the final India data, we want to check the columns like time, the confirmed national cases, as well as the confirmed international cases. So we'll check that. Time, confirmed Indian national cases, confirmed foreign national cases. We are going to delete this time, confirmed Indian national, and confirmed foreign national. We are deleted from this data. Okay, so now the time is not available there, and the confirmed cases about the Indian national will not be available. To check that, we'll type there the name of this data frame underscore final underscore India. It will print our data. This is the date, state and union territory, keyword cases, dates, confirmed cases, and new cases. This is only in the data. Now the time and these 2 columns, confirmed Indian national, confirmed foreign national, these 2 columns are removed from the data set. Okay, so this is the pre-processing thing which we have done, and now we'll check the group by function once again for the date and state using this dot group by function. Okay, so using this date group by function, we can check the different states with the different parameters like cured cases, deaths, confirmed cases, and new cases. This is the syntax. Okay, now about this syntax and the different fundamental things, we'll have these things in the our classes, okay, in the data science and machine learning. The today's aim or the today's focus is to model the pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic in data science. So this is the focus or the specific session we are having, okay. So our goal is to model the pandemic situation or the model, prediction model. Okay, so we are going to reset the index. We'll check. Okay, we have reset the index. Now it will show the columns from state, union, territory to new cases, and rows from 0 to 4199 from Andaman Nicobar to West Bengal. Okay, so you can check. So this dash 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 is shows 4 to 4195. That can also be shown with the help of the syntax. Now we'll check the state-wise COVID-19 status. We have just shown you the list as well as we have done the data pre-processing kind of thing. Now the next thing is to show the state-wise list, state-wise the status. Okay, to show the state-wise status, we need to use some libraries. We need to import the libraries. We need to use that. Okay, for the states, this one, state and union territory, we are plotting some graphs from for the confirmed cases, for the cured cases, for the death cases. Okay, so what kind of charts we are using? We are going to have the pie chart. A pie chart for the active cases, cured cases, death cases, and state cases. This plot underscore pie and this function will visualize all the databases regarding to active cases, cured cases, death cases, and state-wise data. So total cases will be shown over there. Cured cases will be shown, death cases and active cases will be shown. I just run this cell. We'll check what the output is. Yes, you can check the pie chart for the different states. You can check for the Maharashtra COVID-19 cases from the March 2020 to May 2020. It was the active cases were 65.2%, recovered cases were 31.5%, and death 3.3%. Okay. Similarly, rank number 2 state, that was Tamil Nadu. You can check the active cases. You can see it is 45.9%. Recovered cases were 53.4%. Death percentage was 0.7%. Delhi cases. Okay, so as per the list of the states, it will show the different cases like active cases, recovered cases, and the death cases. This is for Rajasthan. You can check. This is for Madhya Pradesh. This is for Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh. This is for Bihar. Active cases were 64.1% at the time. Recovered cases were 35%, and the death cases were 0.5%. Karnataka, COVID-19 cases. Punjab, Telangana, Jammu and Kashmir, Odisha. This is for Haryana. This is for Kerala. This is for Assam, Uttarakhand. This is for Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, okay, Chandigarh, Himachal Pradesh. This is for Tripura. You can say for the Tripura, recovered cases were more, 71%. And this is Goa, Lakshadweep, Puducherry, and Mizoram. This is for Andaman Nicobar, Meghalaya, Nagaland, all the states cases we can explore with the help of these libraries of the visualization. Okay, so this is to show the state-wise the list of the COVID-19 cases. We can explore them. Okay. Now the next thing, in the different values, we got some null values also. So we can reset them to check the values. We can reset the null values as it is using this reset function, reset underscore index function. Okay. Next thing is, we can now again visualize the graph with the help of the another bar plots. Okay, that we have seen in the pie chart. Now we can analyze, or we can visualize the different cases with the help of the bar plot. You can see with the help of the Seaborn library. This is the SNS object for the Seaborn library. We are using the bar plot. We are showing the confirmed cases. We are showing the states. Okay, for the total cases, color will be red. For the cured cases, color will be green. Okay, so these are the some of the specification for the bar plot that we have given. We just click on the run button. We are executing this code cell. You can see over here. This red color shows the total cases. Green color shows the recovered cases. Okay, so Maharashtra total cases were 56948, and the this one total this is the active cases. Okay, active cases are 17918, and this one for Tamil Nadu, Delhi, Gujarat, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh, all the states you can check over there. Okay, so this is regarding to show the cases in the bar plot also. We can show that in the bar plot. Now, overall India cases we can show with the help of the pie chart as well as graph. Now we have seen that in the different states, we have compared the different states. Now I'm going to show you the total cases in India, total infected cases in India, total cases in India, total cured cases in India. Okay, this is cured cases in India. Total active cases we are going to print using the pie chart. Okay, what kind of the different columns we are going to show? Active cases, cured cases, dead cases. Okay, and this is the plot underscore pie function. It will create a graph. It will create a pie chart. Okay, you can see total infected cases in India at that time was 154001. Cured cases were 67692. Active cases can be shown, death cases can be shown. This is the chart, pie chart for the overall India. Active cases at that time was 53.1%, recovered cases 44%, death cases 2.9%. So this is a graph of the overall India, okay, and COVID-19 cases that we can explore.
So there is a question in the chat box.
Hello? Hello?
So there is one question in the chat box. Can you answer that?
Just a minute. Okay. What question we are having? Can you can you ask me this question?
Sir, Dr. Ganesh, the question is, we are copying these syntaxes from home to the modeling page. How to learn these?
Home to modeling page. Okay. Copying this syntaxes from home to modeling page. The home page is there now. We can copy it from home page, any file to another file. We can copy the syntaxes. You can simply copy that syntax and you can paste in the different code cells. Okay. Yeah, you can learn this in the upcoming sessions, how to execute the cells. Actually, I'm not getting your question, what you are asking about. Saina, what is your question? Can you ask me?
Guys, please feel free to ask if you have any question. You can ask the sir. You can speak up and you can ask the question.
Yes, Saina, please unmute yourself and please ask me. What is your question?
Yes, sir. So, since we are doing this data visualization, my question is that how to put up this formula? Do you have to learn these, or we can just simply copy them?
No. You can learn this. Okay. As this is the very large coding. Okay. As
Yes,
in the
yes,
see, Saina, what happens in the machine learning and data science, we are not just actually doing the coding kind of things. Okay. So what we are doing in the data science and machine learning, we are building a model. So coding is a second priority. Okay, so coding is a second priority in the data science and machine learning. We can import the libraries. What is the function of library? Rather than writing the syntaxes, we are yes, rather than writing all the codes and syntaxes, we are avoiding these things. We are importing just all the libraries. Okay, to avoid the coding part. In the training, in the machine learning and data science, the main priority is to build the model and to get some result out of it, some meaningful conclusions or the predictions out of this machine learning and data science model. So coding part is secondary. What the things are available that we can import from the different libraries, that is the main focus. And for the today's session, that is the modeling the pandemic in data science, you can import the different data sets, you can import the different libraries, different functions, and you can use as per your requirement. Okay, as per your requirement you can use. So this syntax is not a big deal. Okay, syntax is, I can send you this code also. The syntax is not a big deal. But what I today want to show you, how to create a model, how to build the model, and how we are getting the predictions. Now just I shown you 50% of the today's model. Okay, 50% of the model is still remaining. I just analyze the COVID related data. I just visualize that to you. Now the another part is to build the model, machine learning model. That building is remaining, as well as we are going to test the machine learning prediction model. Also, there are the different models for the pandemic, like SIR is there, SIER is there, and the machine learning based prediction models are there. So I want to show that also to you, just to showcase you what are the different things are available and how you can use that, how you can utilize that for the different social kind of the applications. Okay, so this COVID-19 pandemic modeling, and for that you can create a different chatbots also, you can create your dashboard on the website also. So different applications are there using the Python and data science. Okay, but you need to use that very wisely, very smartly. That thing I want to show you. Syntax is the second priority. Okay, so you got my point, Saina?
Yes, I got it. That was the question only, that we can just copy these codes, right? We don't have to learn.
Yes. That is a thing. You can import the different libraries and you can do that. Okay. This coding is a second priority in data science and machine learning. All we have to play with the data. Okay, and that is the thing. We are going to build the models, machine learning model. Yes, and within the 2 hours, it is not possible to type all the codes and to show you the actual results. Okay. Yes. So the next thing we are going to have, that is the Indian coordinates, and we are going to rename. We can also rename the different states also. See this one, name of the state and the union territory. This state underscore state union territory, that can also be renamed. We can rename them. Okay. So we can set the different values for that. Okay. So this one, what I have done, that you can see the values 2 times. Andaman Nicobar, the different values can be shown here in the different approaches. Bihar space is there, it is also shown. Whatever the entries are there in the raw data, that can be shown over here. Okay. So next thing is the, okay, I hope you got the idea how to do the analysis for the different different states, how to compare the data. Now I'm going to show you the use of Folium library, how to use the Folium library, that I'm going to show you. Okay, just a minute. So we are using the map with the Folium library. We have imported the library because in some cases we want to show the red zone areas. We want to show the cases, more cases in some cities, okay, or in some areas. Okay, so in our dashboard, if we want to show the red zone areas, we can use this Folium library. You can see this map is equal to folium.map. Locations you need to put there. Okay, so you can use the zoom facility. Okay, so you can see over here different kind of the parameters. Okay, just a minute, we are getting some problem with this. Df full is not defined, so we have to define this Df full. Df full is the data frame. We need to understand this Df full. We need to define it first of all. First of all, I will use this Df full. Df full is the data frame, which is the list of all the states. So this is the Df full data frame, which is the combination of Indian coordinates as well as the state data frame. So I will check it. Yes. So this is our Df full, and now I use this Folium library to showcase you the different cases on the Google map or any kind of map you can use. Yes, this one. See. Okay. Screen is visible to all of you. You can see different cases in the different areas with this. Okay, you can see the map for India. As we are using the Indian values, if we use the COVID data for the world, you can see some of the red dots in the different countries also. You can see this area, Pune, then this Hyderabad, Bangalore. So this is showing the number of more cases in the some cities. Okay, so this way, this is the, so this is the geographical presentation. Okay, as well as if we want to have the look of the roads or the different street areas. Okay, so we can also have that. So if you want to get the open street map, you can also get that. This is the OpenStreetMap. Okay, in this way we can show the different COVID cases, active cases, with the help of this red mark, red color in this map. Okay, so this is the use of which library? Folium library. We have used the Folium library for showing the cases on the map. Okay, so this way you can use this. Okay. Now I want to show you the trend or the prediction about the cases. How to predict the cases in this, how to predict the confirmed cases or the new cases. Okay, that I will show you. Day-wise cases we are going to predict. So that will show you. These are the cases for the future prediction. Okay, so as the data is only up to the May month, so it can show the cases after that also. Okay, so it will predict the cases. Okay, next we can show the figure also with the help of the different libraries, visualization libraries. Okay, so we can show also that. So it's going to execute. Yes. So this is the graph trend of the coronavirus cases in India. That is the cumulative cases. Okay. So that can be shown over here from the February 2020 to June 2020. It can be shown over here. So this is the trend of the cases of the COVID-19. So this is regarding the trend of the coronavirus cases in India in the cumulative way. So you can check here how the cases are increasing from month to month. Okay. So this is the way to check that. Yes. So this one. Okay, so this is to analyze the COVID-19. We have compared the state-wise data. Now the next thing that I'm going to show you, that is to have the SIR model. There are the different epidemiological models we are having, like SIR model, SIER model. We are also having the machine learning based prediction model. I try to show you these things also. First, I'm going to show you the SIR model, which I have implemented. Okay, before that, I just show you, someone asked to show the Google Colab also. Okay, I can also show you the Google Colab. Just a minute. Google Colab is the another option for executing the code, implementing the codes. Okay, you can with the Jupyter Notebook you can execute, as well as with the Google Colab you can also execute this one. Just a minute, I'm sharing the screen of the Google Colab, how to use that. Okay, I think screen is visible to you. This is the Google Colab, which is available with your Gmail account. You just open your Python notebook file in the Google Colab also. So you can see there, this is the Python code as well as text you can have there. So you can check the different, you can execute the different codes. So this is the Google Colabry. So colab.research.google.com, using this URL also you can execute your code with the Python. So this is the another way to execute the code in the Google Colab also. Yes. So whatever the code we are executing in the Jupyter Notebook, same code can be executed in the Google Colab also. Yes, this one. Okay. Now I want to show you the SIR model. Okay, so this is the SIR model. S for the susceptibles, I for the infections, and R for the recovered. Okay, so you can see here, this is the list of the libraries which can be imported: NumPy, SciPy, and Matplotlib. These are the three libraries which are required here in this code for the executing the SIR model. So this is a NumPy, SciPy, as well as Matplotlib for the visualization we are using. So the total population, first of all, how many number of the people that we are going to have the survey, that can be typed over here. So that is the 1,000, as well as the initial number of the infected and recovered individuals. Yes, I naught and R naught. I naught and R naught, these are the initial numbers for the infected cases as well as the recovered cases. We put there 1, 0. Then next thing is to have the calculation for S. As we put I naught and R naught, we need to find out the S naught. S naught can be calculated by the formula N minus I naught minus R naught. Total population minus the initial infected minus initial recovered. That is the initial value of the susceptibles. And there is the formula for the SIR model. With the help of the differential equations, we have to build this model. SIR is equal to Y, S comma I comma R comma equal to Y is the output. That is the dependent variable which we are having. And this ds dt, this is the differential function with the beta function comma beta function into S into I divided by N. This is the formula for this. And di dt function, beta into S into I upon N minus gamma into I. So now what is this beta, what the gamma function is? These are for this purpose, you need to understand the SIR model. We have described that model in the previous session, but this is the differential equation which we require to create or to build the SIR model. So as we have initiated this and the initial coordinates we have created, after that applying this, we can show with the help of the graphs. So just click on the run button, it will show the cases. So this is the number, the total population is there. This is the x-axis, time and days can be shown over here. Okay, so these are the days and this is the numbers. As the day increases, you can see how the numbers of the infected cases are going to increase. So these are the susceptible cases, and this is the recovery with the immunity that can be shown over here with the help of this graph. So this is the SIR model, which is one of the pandemic model. This is from the data science, which we can have, as well as one more model is there that is called as the SIER model. So I show you that SIER model. In the it is an advanced version of SIR model. So we'll see what the SIER model is. Okay, see this one, the SIER model. In the SIER model, we just not having the susceptibles or infectious and recovered. We are also going to have the exposed cases. Okay, so susceptibles, exposed, infectious, and recovered. So this is the way, and these are the differential equations. With the help of that, we are creating this model, where the alpha is the inverse of virus incubation period, beta is the average contact rate in the population, the gamma, that is the inverse of the mean infectious period. SIER represents the susceptibles, exposed, infected, and recovered categories. So this one is related to the differential equations, ds upon dt, what we have also used in this particular model. So here we are using the two libraries, NumPy as well as Matplotlib. So we have initiated that. Initial values for the S, I, and R that we have to put. So self.S0, self.E0 for the exposed initial cases, self.I0 for the infectious cases, self.R0 for the recovered cases that we have to put. This is the initial value. Then we are creating the list of all these values, susceptibles as well as the exposed, then the infected cases and the recovered cases. We have created the list. You know the list in the Python. Okay, we can create a list of different variables. Then the dynamical parameters like alpha, beta, gamma, and the rho, this can be calculated using their formulas. And after that, all parameters we are going to get together in the one formula. So self.parameters in a list, we are creating the list of same. And then all the final values we are getting together to get the values. So the various methods are there to execute this one. We can use the different classes, reinitialize class, it is there to create the new models and new values. Set params, this is the syntax which can be used for the dynamical parameters and their values. Reset function, that is used to get the initial state, okay, and the initial values. Run, that is to execute the dynamical simulation for the whatever the data is given. Plot is to plot some of the charts and graph for the simulation on the X and Y axis. So this is the demo for the SIER model. S for the susceptibles, E for the exposed, I for the infectious, and R for the recovered. So this is the SIER model we are going to run. So from SIER class, as I said, in the data science, we are importing the different codes and different libraries, different functions. We just using this. Okay, you know the example of the cake baking. In the cake baking, nowadays the different marts of the cake baking are available. All they are collecting all the different things, and they are making the cakes. Similarly, for the mobile phones also, as well as some electronics components, electronic gadgets also. In India, we are assembling the different things, and then the different instruments are going to manufactured. Okay, so these things we are doing in the data science also. We are importing the different libraries, different codes, different syntaxes to get our outcome executed or outcome attained. Okay, so to attain our final goal, we are using the different libraries and different codes. So that's why we use the SIER class here, which is already inbuilt. Okay, then we are using the NumPy library. Okay, I am going to execute this. Then the model, we are using a S variable as SIER function. Okay, then S dot alpha will show the value of alpha. S dot S0, it will show the value of the initial susceptible values. S dot I shows the infected values. S dot parameter shows the dynamical parameters, alpha, beta, gamma, and rho values. S dot value shows the SIER values. S is 0.99, your E is 0.001, I is 0, and last R is 0. So you can run the simulations and we can plot the graphs for SIER model. So this is the SIER model. So you can see in the these are the time steps, and this is the population. Okay, so this is the basic SIER model. For any pandemic, this can be implemented. Okay, so as well as social distancing factors are equally important. Okay, we can run them. So social distancing factor 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, and 0.8. For these, the different infected cases and the active cases can be shown with the different population which is provided. Okay, so in this way, the different parameters, different models can be built. Okay, so there are the different parameters which can be changed as per the current situations. Okay, and that can be implemented. So this is the SIER model, what we can implement. Now I am going to show you the final prediction model using the machine learning algorithm. What my intention is, you need to check, you need to see what the options are available in data science, what the options are available in the machine learning. So you can create all these libraries, you can learn these libraries, and you can use for the whatever the purpose you have. Okay, for the different purposes you can use these different libraries. So now within 5 to 10 minutes, I'm going to show you the prediction model, which is machine learning based. See, this is the prediction model to predict the cases, new cases in the COVID situation. You can see the list of libraries: NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, random math, time, to import the time, to import the scikit-learn linear regression machine learning algorithm, the scikit-learn model selection. We are going to split the data in the training sets and test sets. For that, one library is there. Scikit-learn pre-processing library is available there. Scikit-learn SVM, that is the support vector machine. We can import that. Scikit-learn different metrics can be there. Okay, different metrics can be imported, like mean square error, root mean square error, mean absolute error, mean mode, median, harmonic mean, standard deviation. Different statistical parameters can be imported. Day time can be imported. We can import the operators also. Okay, I'm going to execute this one. So it will take some time to import the libraries. Yes, it is imported. Now you can see the confirmed cases, the actual data now that I'm going to import now for the COVID-19. So confirmed cases, I'm going to import from this URL raw.githubusercontent.com. From this URL, I'm going to import this CSV file. Okay, so you can use the URL also to read the CSV file. So confirmed cases at the present time, that is imported. Confirmed cases imported, then death reported at the present time, I'm going to import from the URL. Recovered cases, we have imported. Latest data, so latest COVID related data we are going to import. So confirmed cases dot head function, it will show the confirmed cases in the different countries, their latitude, longitude, as well as the time, as well as the dates also. Okay, so date is shown, as well as the recovered cases can be shown. We can show the death cases. This is just to visualize what the main theme is. We are going to build the model and we are going to find out the predictions. Okay, columns can be shown where this is the pre-processing kind of things. We are extracting the data, date columns. Okay, no issue. We can extract the various dates. Various date can be explored there. Then this is the confirmed keys filled with the data set. Whatever the null values are there, we can do the pre-processing thing. This is the world cases. World cases can be shown. Total deaths can be shown. total confirmed cases in India. Delhi increase can be shown over there. Confirmed cases can be shown. Okay, so in this way, Indian Delhi deaths, recoveries can be shown. This is just to visualize what thing I have to show, that is how to build the model. You can see in this particular data frame, the name of country, number of confirmed cases, number of deaths, number of recoveries, number of active cases, the mortality rate you can see here. You can see the unique provinces, means what we have seen in the last Jupyter Notebook file. The unique states, in the same way, unique provinces are given for the different countries. Confirmed cases in the different states of different countries. Then dealing with the missing values, pre-processing step. Okay, so this is to show with the help of the different confirmed cases in India and outside the India, using different plots like a bar plot. Okay. Okay, so it shows the outside India cases and the inside India cases. Okay, so this is the visualization for the COVID-19 cases. Number of COVID-19 cases in the different countries can be shown with the help of the pie chart. Okay, you can see this one. Okay. Now it comes the prediction. You can see this COVID-19 cases, confirmed cases in India with the help of this pie chart for the different states. Sorry. Now the prediction model. How to build the prediction model? As we have the data is a new oil. Okay, if there is no data, you cannot do anything. You cannot predict, you cannot create model, you cannot test model. Okay, so data is very important. Then after reading the data and importing the data, next thing is the forecasting the data or the forecasting the features. Okay, so days in future, yes, it is 30. Obviously in 1 month, future forecast, np.array, we are going to forecast how these days are forecasted, because from the previous data, it is determined that the average days in the month, that is equal to 30. So it predicts that days in future is equal to 30. Future forecast, np.array, I for I in range, length dates plus days in future dot reshape minus 1,1. So using this, we are going to forecast, future forecast for the next 30 days count. So this is the next 30 days new cases count. We can run this and we can check the new cases in the next 30 days, how it going to have. Okay, so world cases dot shape, you can check this one. So it starts from one death and this 1st January 2020, and then we are going to see how to build the model in the machine learning. So this is, first of all, we have to confirm the training as well as testing. We have to split the data. We have splitted that data in the training as well as test models. Okay, just a second. Okay. So next thing is to transform the data for polynomial regression. What we are using for forecasting or finding the prediction, mostly we are using the regression kind of the machine learning algorithm. We are using the polynomial regression here. And for the machine learning algorithm, we are training the data. Whatever the data we got, first of all, we are training that machine with that data, as well as we are using some data for the testing purpose. We are fitting the model using the polynomial regression. Okay, so linear regression we are using. So this is the way how to have the model, linear model, linear regression. Okay, so you can find out the mean square error as well as mean absolute error. You can see here. Then you can plot the y test confirm means the predicted y values. X indicate the training sets and y indicates the output values or the predicted values. So these are the predicted values. You can see this with the help of the red color. So this red color, it shows the polynomial regression predictions, and this is the test data. Okay, now this can be implemented with the help of the other machine learning algorithms also, like a support vector machine. Okay, so that SVM can also be used. Then you can draw the graphs for same.
डालने की बात है मेरे सामने कि सुबह फोन आ रहा है, परसों की तो बात ही है या कल की है, शायद कल की है, कल सुबह की। वो तो कह रहे हैं इतने दिन की।
Dhruv sir, can you mute this guy?
कपड़ा देना पापा बाइक में है।
Okay. So in this way, we can use the different machine learning algorithms for the creating and building the models. Okay, for the prediction as well as the different pandemic models we can create. Okay, we can implement this. So in this particular today's session, what intention I want to show you how to use the Anaconda package, how to use the Jupyter Lab, how the coding interface in the Anaconda distribution as well as the Jupyter Notebook. Okay, so in this session we learn about how to read the data sets from the local disk as well as the Jupyter Notebook files, okay, from the URL also. So after reading the data set, we got to know about how to model the pandemic in data science that we have learned, okay, how to show that with the help of the map using the Folium library. We have also learned how to use the SIR models and SIER models in the data science. And finally, using the different machine learning algorithms, how to build the models for the prediction or forecasting the data that we have seen. Okay, so this is regarding the today's session of the modeling the data science in the different pandemic kind of situations. So this is regarding that. Just a minute. Okay, so this is our website, www.uniquekaksha.com. This is our email address, support@uniquekaksha.com. This is a phone number on which you can contact for the upcoming courses. Okay, so that's it from my side, guys. I tried my level best to show you how to model the pandemic in the data science using the machine learning algorithms. Okay, so this is all from my side. Any queries you can ask me.
Guys, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. And I request everybody to fill the feedback form. And I hope you have already filled up the earlier form which I sent, as we'll be sending the certificates. And if anybody wants to see the recording of this session, it will be available in 48 hours at our YouTube channel. So request you to fill the form. And anybody has any queries, it's an open platform. So please, you can ask.
Pranay is asking that please share this code on your on our email, please. Okay, we can share this code to you. No issue, Pranay. Yes, any questions you can ask.
Sir, can we get the codes?
Hello, pardon, please.
Sir, they are saying can they get the code?
Yes. I can send you. No issue. We will send you by mail.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
If everybody has filled up the form, you'll be getting the codes. So you don't have to worry about that, and even along with certificates.
Okay. Any feedback regarding this session?
So the form has been sent out to them. So everybody requests you to fill up the form, feedback form, and I hope nobody has any questions. So thanks everyone.
Dhruv
Yes,
sir,
doctor.
if any feedbacks from their side, like they like the session or not, okay, regarding that they can speak freely.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Can I? Sir, at the beginning it was too good, sir. It taught very well. But later on, it like went above the head, because
Okay.
it is like intermediate, or it is advanced level, right, sir?
Yes. Actually, this is the specialization kind of the session. Okay, as the data modeling in the modeling of the pandemic in data science. Okay, this is not the simple thing. For this code and for executing this code, okay, I tried my level best. Okay, so I was working months and 2 to 3 months on this particular data sets, and then I got to show you this kind of the results. Okay, so this is the very extensive kind of the research. This is a research kind of thing actually. Okay, so you will not understand that in a 1 day or 2 hours. Okay, so actually the intention is to just to show you what are the applications of the data science and machine learning. So you need to know these things. You can learn the different Python libraries, different data science tools and machine learning algorithm. By combining all this knowledge, you can do this data science research. You can utilize these things to the society problem, industry problems also, and you can become a good data scientist as well as a machine learning engineer. And sorry for that. Okay, because the topic is like that, modeling the pandemic. So the fundamental things, whatever need to explain you, I tried my level best for that.
Yes, sir, it was good.
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay, guys. Thanks everyone. Thanks for attending the session, and please visit our website unidiksha.com to explore. And if you have any queries, like Dr. Ganesh said, you can call up the number. You can write to us. And thanks again for joining us. Have a very good evening. Have a very good weekend. Bye-bye, everyone. Good night.